record right now, so from this point forward, we are going to be recording the show. And again, what we're talking about tonight is good cop, bad cop. We're talking about a local Tampa police officer who does not even deserve that title, who had a relationship with a 17-year-old at a school. You can Google the story if you would like. And then we have a couple other stories that we are going to be talking about, but that's the only one that we've spoken about that you may have missed.
Well, and I would like to say that Judy and I both give total props to both Hillsborough County, Polk County, Tampa PD. You
said both. Now you're going past two.
Okay. To all of our law enforcement, all of our law enforcement, we say thank you.
Absolutely. Keep up the good work. You know what? There's some special ones out there that are very dear to my heart. I've known you guys for a long time. You know, you are true heroes. And you know, I hope and pray that, you know, you guys go out there, you do your job with passion and believe in what you do, and you're able to go home and enjoy your family, especially for the holiday season. So on a happier note, well, that is a happy note.
That is a happy note.
Yeah, it is. So you know what? Let's talk about this other guy. I know you haven't had a chance to read the story, but this is a story about a DeKalb County. This is in Georgia, where he was a 18-year veteran police officer.
Okay.
He was showing a 13-year-old pornography of himself.
Really?
Of himself. Kissed her on the neck, touched her, and tried to undress her. 13 years old. If you were the father of the 13-year-old, what would you do?
Well, I would like to say this. I would probably be in jail. And I'm sorry, there's no way you can excuse any of this. There is no way.
Regardless of what type of costume you have on.
Yeah, whether it's teacher, whether it's police officer, whether it's county sheriff, whether it's, you know, I don't care. There's no way you can excuse these actions.
Now, and the way that the mother found out about this was the young girl, a year later, wrote a letter to her mother and told her mother what had happened. At that point, they issued a warrant and they arrested the Atlanta cop. But, you know, the father of the 13-year-old said, you know, it's very disheartening for all of us here in DeKalb County and the police department. You know, and it's got to be. I mean, it's just, I mean, it puts a whole city in a funk, just like Tampa with our guy, you know, right. Same with Atlanta.
Well, and I would like to say to all the young people out there, this is not allowable. I don't care whether it's a cop, whether it's a teacher, whether a principal at school, anybody touches you that you don't allow, that you don't want, please bring it to the attention of the proper authorities.
A parent, a school teacher, somebody else. You know, if one school teacher molests you or tries to do something, that doesn't mean that the next one's going to be like that. Just because one cop is a bad cop doesn't mean that you can't go to another cop, because you know what? The chances are very slim that they're going to be a bad guy too.
Absolutely. Our law enforcement, our first responders do such a great job. And to have somebody like we're talking about now besmirch their reputation, guys, do not allow anybody to touch you where you don't want to be touched.
That's right.
Don't allow it to go on.
And those teenagers who are sexually active, you know what, parents, you better pull the reins on them, because it's not a good situation. It's really not. So let's go ahead and play some BTO. You ain't seen nothing yet.
It works for me.
Yeah, and we'll come back here shortly.
Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Here's something you never gonna forget, baby. You know, you just ain't seen nothing yet. You need education. Gotta go to school.
Hi, we're back. WPRN-DB 102.1, Radio Barn Grill, where the ice-cold beer in Tampa Bay don't get any colder. You know, we have a lot of lineups here for our shows. We have during the day. I want to let you guys know some of the things that goes on around here. We have Ozman. Ozman, he was in the booth with me here earlier. And he has his own show, which is from 3 to 5, Monday through Friday. Storm, who is one of our new DJs, but kind of an older DJ, but a new DJ. She was here before. Her show is from 7 to 9. We have Frankie from 5 to 7. And then we have Predator Patrol on Sunday nights. And then Craven comes in whenever he wants because he can. So he does his show when he wants because he can. What? What's what? What? What's what?
Oh,
it's not me. It's squeaking. The chair is squeaking. That's not stinky, okay? It's squeaking. Oh, is that all you want to do? Come in here and say, Did you get a little bit of energy, Teresa? I see you're drinking an energy drink there.
Yeah. Well,
awesome. All right, we've already done those stories, so don't even. Okay, here's the story we're going to be talking about, though. Right there. That's the next one. You guys have to forgive Teresa. She's normally not this low key. She's low key, but not this low key. She's getting ready to get married on the 28th. We are going to have a big hillbilly redneck country wedding here. Can you guys hear that? Yeah. Everybody's screaming and yelling out there.
Except for Craven. Craven's running down the road.
He can't run fast enough, though. You know what? We can catch him. You can run, but you can't hide. So, yeah, they're getting married on the 28th here at the Radio Barn Grill. I know it's not your typical place to get married, but hillbillies just get married wherever they want.
That's right.
So, ooh, that was a burst of energy.
Not now for the energy.
So, yes, we're going to have a wedding. We're going to have people here from all over. We have people flying in from New York and Nebraska and Ohio, Kansas, and even California. So it's going to be awesome. We've got the hotel booked across the hall. Across the road. Well, that is like a hallway out there, isn't it?
I want to build one of those walkways from the bar to the hotel.
Yeah, I know. That would be pretty cool. Maybe we'd get more customers. Have a little walkover, you know. Hey, we might be able to do it. We can start collecting 2x4s. All right, so after we do our collection for our Christmas, we're going to start collecting 2x4s and plywood. We're going to build a bridge across Bush so people can come over here and join the fun at the Radio Barn Grill.
It could be a rope bridge.
A rope? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody would get back over to the bar. They'd end up like crashing in the road or not even being able to swing across. That's kind of silly. So back to the Predator Patrol Radio. You know, we have another disturbing story, but you know what? This is kudos out to. It doesn't say Internal Affairs initiated this investigation, but the little bit that I know about law enforcement, I think that it was Internal Affairs that may have gotten involved in this. This is a former sheriff's deputy who was arrested for internet stalking of a child. And what he did is he sent all of these text messages and internet comments and stuff on her Facebook. And he thought that it was a 15-year-old girl. Guess what?
What?
It was the police.
I think I seen this. on the news.
Did you?
I think I did.
Yeah. So they did a sting and they busted him, and now he is no longer allowed to wear his police costume because he is not a police and he never was.
That's what it was, a costume.
Yeah, it was. So he is no longer a deputy, I should say. There is a difference between deputies and police officers. And there is a difference between sheriffs and deputies. I hear a lot of people, I got to say this, but I hear a lot of people say, oh, yeah, the sheriff was at my house today. And I think, really? The sheriff? The sheriff himself was at your house? So the sheriff is the boss, just like the chief is the chief of police. So we have a sheriff, and then we have all of the people that work under the sheriff. Did you know that?
No.
I'm making sure my ass crack ain't showing this time.
All right, what, are you showing crack again?
I've seen it.
Oh, Lord. You know what? Last week... Let me pull these sleeves up. I feel like I got this big old pajama shirt on. Teresa, last week, somebody brought to our attention that you could see her butt crack. And that's not very cool.
I can't
for
help it.
anybody.
I can't
Yes, you can help it. Get pants that go up higher. You wear short. You wear
I
pants
have
that don't
a
even have a
very
zipper.
high
It's got like
back
2
crack.
little notches in it.
I have a very high. I'm tall.
Okay, but your jeans are like super hip huggers.
I like it like that.
I mean, you were stocking the cooler the other day, and I mean, I could see all the way down to your kneecaps almost.
Oh.
You know, you
You
got to
gonna
wear
take me
jeans that
shopping?
come up to your
You gonna
waist.
take me shopping?
Of course.
All right, I'm ready.
I got
want some of those
$1,000 gift
fancy,
certificate.
jeans that you got.
Oh, my stretch jeans that I buy for $9.
All the friggin' rhinestones all over them and
Oh,
stuff.
well, you know what? I did have to break down and go buy me a pair of buckle jeans. They were $107.
Yeah, I used to shop at the Buckle.
I love the Buckle. That's an awesome
Been a
awesome
long
store.
time since I shopped
I know.
At the
Well,
Buckle.
I can't do that all the time. So, anyways, yeah. So, thank God Travis Beard is now locked up. Arizona, great job on doing that. Then we have another story, and I'm going to lay off the cops. This here
what happens
is.
to these cops when they go to jail?
You know what? You need to follow the stories. That's another thing, because you know what? You see all of these stories out there and it's like, yay, hooray, they got arrested, but you don't know what happens afterwards. And that's the sad part, because there's all these technicalities and then the witnesses don't show up, which is actually the victim. And, you know, some of these stories, you know, and I am guilty of blaming the judges for doing such a shitty job out there, but sometimes the case just isn't strong enough. Sometimes the victim is afraid to speak up. Sometimes there's not enough evidence. You know, just like I was reading the former sheriff's deputy, not the stalking one, the one in Atlanta, this one here. The cop in Atlanta who was arrested for showing the pornography on his cell phone and stuff. That one, there's a little bit of a gray area, and there is a strong defense on the cop's defense. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know the details of the behind the scenes. I only know what was published, and you can't always go by that. But that one there, who knows? He may end up riding off on that one, and I don't think he'll get his uniform back. He resigned.
That's the least of his worries.
I know, right? So anyways, in Polk County, that's actually Lakeland here in town, which is outside of Hillsborough County, kind of like our next door neighbor. There is he no longer is, a firefighter. He faces 30 counts of unlawful sex with a minor. And his brother, who also worked for the Polk County Sheriff's Department, which is horrible. These guys are twins. Two twin brothers that worked together at the fire department.
A team doing it together.
Well, the 49-year-old brother, well, they're both 49 because they're twins, right?
Right.
He was having a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old. Long-time relationship. It went on for several months, and his brother, who was the lieutenant with the sheriff's department, he kept it a secret. He didn't turn him in. Even though he knew it was unlawful, he didn't turn him in.
And nobody else knew either?
It doesn't say. It just says that he faces 30 counts of unlawful sex with a minor. William Nichols resigned from the sheriff's office after his arrest on charges of failing to report suspected child abuse. I was going to say sexual abuse, but that isn't what it said. Suspected child abuse. The girls told investigators that she and Nick Nicholas had a sexual relationship from September to November. During that period, the girl would go to Nicholas' home to have sex with while his mother was at work and his sister was at school. How to avoid predators. Do you want to come in and talk about it?
It's Brian O'Brien.
Who's Brian O'Brien?
Him.
Oh, I know that's Brian O'Brien. Okay. You were showing us something. Here, you know what? I'm going to push
Get in
this
the
up.
corner,
Here, get
Brian
over there, honey.
O'Brien.
Get over there, Brian. We're going to give you a mic. And you've just been overly excited in the window, wanting to express your feelings, and you've been really just hot out there, making all these faces in the window and pointing at things, and you're like one of our biggest fans here at the bar.
I love supporting both you and Teresa and Eugene.
Well, I appreciate
He's
it.
gonna
Put
take
that
us-
up a little closer to
He's
you.
going to take us Christmas shopping after
Pull
the show.
up that
Buy us
close.
Absolutely.
all-
There you go.
And we're going to go on a
Perfect.
motorcycle ride.
You do? You have a motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm on training wheels.
No, it's a Spider. That thing's cool looking.
But I just pulled this up on the internet, and it's how to avoid
You
predators.
can move that down.
Yeah, move it down so you don't have to like become
You own
Gumby
it.
and stretch.
And the first step is don't follow their charm. If they appear to be charming and friendly, something may be wrong.
Good one. And Brian is searching for number 2.
Be aware of their actions and their movements, because they are nervous to a point, and that's a red flag right there. If they seem nervous and, of course, charming and appealing, and they looking for a puppy,
Right, yeah.
that's an old one.
And it still works. Yeah, you gotta be careful out there. I mean, these guys will use any tactic possible. I lost my dog. Here's a puppy of my dog. Oh, I lost something important. Oh, your mother is in trouble. Can you please follow me? Somebody wearing a police uniform or a polo shirt. Can you please come with me? I want to take you somewhere where, I mean, your brother is hurt, or, you know, I mean, your mother got in a car accident. They'll use anything.
And if you notice, they're trying to gain personal information, your home address, what school you go to, how you go there, what time you leave, what time you go home, who your friends are, where they're at. That's another red flag.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't ever go off with anybody. And, you know, sometimes, you know, parents write their children's names on their backpacks.
Big mistake.
Jennifer. So you know
And
what?
their address and phone number.
Yeah, all that. If lost, call this number. If lost, take to this address. You know, the little girl's name is Jennifer. It's on the back of her shirt. It doesn't take nothing for a pervert to say, "Hey, Jennifer," as if he knows her. And she's going to think, "Oh my God, where do I know this guy from?"
I'm
You
your
know, and
uncle.
she
I'm your
will
mom's
have a
best
conversation.
friend. I'm your
Yeah.
mom's best friend. She told me to
Right.
come talk to you.
Yeah.
It's not strictly females either.
Right. That's true.
Young boys, there's older boys. But
Absolutely.
if you're in a group and one of the members of the group is pulling on you saying, hey, come on, don't. Take their advice and don't.
Right.
And tell somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. You always got to speak out. Even if it's just a little bit of something that gave you butterflies in your stomach, you still need to tell somebody. Even though they didn't pull your pants down, even though they didn't actually touch you. But if you got that creepy feeling from somebody, you got to let them know. You got to let an adult know that somebody made you feel uncomfortable.
They're hunters. They're looking for prey.
Right.
Don't look like prey. That's all you got to do. If you look like prey, you're in their forest. They're in their place where they work. If
Right,
you look
right.
like prey, if you walk like prey,
Well,
you are
the,
prey.
The children can't help it though, and then the thing about it is, and even where I live, people flop their door open and they're sitting on an Xbox, and their little girls are running around in a place where they don't know anybody. They
Right.
don't really know these people.
Yeah.
And little 5 and 6-year-old little girls running around in dresses,
Barefooted.
you know. And I mean, it's just going to take I see it.
Education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to a park.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Go
Yeah.
to a park. I see kids there alone. I don't
Right.
see any parents anywhere. Little
Yeah.
children.
And your parents, you know, and it's not your child's fault if something horrible happens to them, because these guys should know better. But you know what? Yes, be a little more educational to your children as to how to carry themselves. You know, if you have a little girl and you're getting ready to take her to the park, have her wear shorts and a t-shirt, not a dress.
That's
Right.
If you are going to go to Walmart shopping, don't let your child go into Walmart in a bathing suit. I've seen that so many times where parents, I was at Mel's Hot Dog the other day, yesterday. Oh, and I saw both of your nieces there. And a couple came in with their 2 little girls, and they were both in 2-piece bathing suits. One girl was about 13 and the other one was about 9 years old. They had 2 pieces on, and you could see the shape of everything. And they were not in the proper place to be wearing a bathing suit. So,
I totally promote, no matter what age, self-defense courses.
yes.
Not only it promotes physical and mental development, but it could get you out of a situation that you might fall into. So
Absolutely.
there's nothing wrong with a self-defense course.
Not at all. And you know, whenever you get in a bad situation, you fight to survive, because guess what? Once that guy has you there, or female, there is no sweet talking them out of it. Don't think that if you're nice that it's going to be okay, because it's not. You have got to fight, and you have to know how to fight, and you have to grab their canoogies or whatever you want to call them, and you have to just fight. Hurt them where it hurts to get away.
If you're in a situation and you feel uncomfortable, leave that situation, but tell someone made you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Don't be afraid to tell someone. You don't have to point someone out. Just tell about the situation you were put in where you felt uncomfortable.
Right.
And someone will pick up the ball for you.
They better. Yeah. And parents out there, if somebody talks to you, one of these kids come to you and say, oh my gosh, I feel so uncomfortable. There was a man that was looking at me, or there was a man that was following me home from school. Don't just shrug your shoulders and say, thanks for telling me. Find out, get more information, get the color of the vehicle, get the description of the guy. And you know what? Call the police. And if the police say, you know what, nothing happened, we can't do anything about it, don't think that that cop's not going to take that information and hold on to it in case something like that happens again with another child. You know what I'm saying? They can do information reports. Not everything is an incident report where you get a case number, but they can do reports where they're called information reports.
Absolutely. They have to do a report on every call.
Yep, they do.
And
It's logged.
in closing, everyone knows how to dial 911, but also have 2 or 3 or 4 other emergency numbers that on speed dial. All you got to do is hit that number.
Yeah.
Someone might answer. If they don't answer, hit the next number.
That's right.
And let's keep them off the street.
Brian, you're awesome. Great information. Thanks for coming in,
Thanks for having me.
thanks for rooting on the show and keeping our attention out there. You're the best.
Yay.
Thank you. Anytime, honey. Anytime. We're going to play Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll, and we will be back. You're listening to WPRN, DB 102.1.
By the record machine, I knew he must have been about 17. He was strong, playing my favorite song, and I could tell it wouldn't be long that he was with me, yeah me. And I could tell it wouldn't be long that he was with me, yeah me. Singing, I love rock and roll, spending a lot of time in the jukebox, baby. Got up and asked for his name. That don't matter, he said, 'cause it's all the same. So can I take you home where we can be alone? And next we were moving on, he was with me, yeah me. Next we were moving on, he was with me, yeah me. Singing, I love rock and roll. Be moving on and singing that same old song, yeah, with me, singing, I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll, so come and take your time and dance with me. I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll, so come and take your time and dance with me. I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby.
making the world a safer place every day. It's the Predator Patrol with Judy Cornett and Teresa Cottrell on the Party Pirate 102.1 FM.
Always be there when you go. Hey, just wanted you to know I wish you were just wanted you to know I had a good time. I had a really good time. And I still believe it's okay. It doesn't matter. I know that you really need it in your way. Hey, I wanted you to know. I wish you were right. Just wanted you to know I had a good time. Hey, I had a really good time. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
up a few for a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill, paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some are born to sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight people. Don't stop believing. Hold on. Streetlight people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight.
Oh, we're back. I think Teresa has a little bit more energy. She's already drinking 2 energy drinks and I think a cup of coffee or something. I don't know, but she's wired for sound now. So she's been talking.
A B12 shot.
Oh,
while
the
you're on break.
B12 shot. Yes, I gave her a B12 shot. I did. You can't say that. That's okay. She had B12. So anyways, you're listening to WPRN DB 102.1 at the Radio Bar and Grill. We have ice cold beer. Come on down. We have open jam a couple days a week. Great musicians come down here and hang out with us. And we have Ozman from 3 to 5 on Monday through Friday. And Storm is here on Monday through Friday too, right?
Yeah. It's Tuesday through Friday.
Storm is Tuesday through Friday?
They all are.
Oh, everybody's Tuesday through Friday.
We're closing on Mondays.
Oh, that's awesome. We need a down day. So your Monday will be your Sunday, actually.
Right.
You know, like there's certain people that don't work on Sunday. Teresa and Craven don't work on Monday. So that's cool. That's awesome. Well, you know what? Our next part of the show is talking about Facebook and safety on the internet for your children who are on social networking sites such as Facebook. Even MySpace still is around. And what other social networks do they have out there?
Twitter.
Okay, Twitter's one, yeah. And I think there's one called Go Fish. Is it called Go Fish? I don't know. And then Biker or Not and all that kind of stuff. There's just a whole bunch out.
Around town or something like that.
Yeah. So you know what, parents? You have a huge responsibility. Being a parent, the responsibility was nowhere near what it used to be when we were young kids running around with no computers and no cell phones. You know, Mama would just give that big old loud whistle and we would come running. Now, a lot of crimes are happening in our house and we don't even know it. Things are happening with our children's cell phones that we don't even know about. You guys have got to be aware of what's going on your children's phones, what's going on in the internet, what's going on with their Facebook. You need those passwords, and you need to take time out. If you're going to allow your child to sit on that computer and do Facebook, guess what? When they get off of Facebook, you need to go on Facebook and see what they've done, or sit there with them, or frequently walk by. Don't give your child a laptop and let them go close themselves up in their bedroom and do internet Facebooking, because you know what? It is really dangerous out there. It's dangerous for us as adults,
Right.
yet alone teenagers. Our children are so naive. They think they know everything. They think they know how to do Facebook, and they've got all these wonderful friends, and it becomes a competition to have more friends. And, you know, I have 5,000 friends. Oh, well, I have 42,000. Oh, my gosh, I got to get another 8,000 to catch up with my best friend because I don't want her to have more friends than me. Right?
Right.
But you don't know who these people are. Your children are just accepting friends for the number in some of these cases. But you know, there is a mother who went on Facebook to check out her daughter's Facebook. And what happened was a 37-year-old man ends up getting arrested over it. 37-year-old Orlando man was arrested Wednesday on child molestation charges after the victim's mother found inappropriate Facebook messages on the page. Okay. Now we think that this is an internet thing and shame on you, but thank God nothing happened, right? Right? After her 11-year-old daughter, who usually made good grades in school, came home with 2 Ds on her report card, the mom planned on taking away the girl's social media privileges until her grades improved. As the mom flipped through her daughter's Facebook friends listing, she came across an adult neighbor's name, Marco Camacho. The mother told the police that Camacho sent the young girl a message which said the girl was cute and getting cuter. After her mother told the young girl that she saw the message, the girl said that on at least 3 occasions in the past, Camacho had molested her in the swimming pool. So not only was this a Facebook situation, it was something in person. Yeah, at the apartment complex. How can somebody not see a young girl in the pool with an older man and him molesting her? If you live in an apartment complex, keep an eye on the pool. Things like this are happening. It's horrible. So the girl also told the police that Camacho said he would give her $50 if she would come to his apartment to earn it. The girl said she declined the money and she ran home. He is in jail with no bond. So, you know what, moms and dads? Please be aware. This could be your child. You know, we always want to say, oh, we're a good parent. Oh, it's never going to happen to my child. But you know what? You're wrong, because I thought the same thing. You know, I was a mother of 2 young boys. My husband was a police officer, and I was in the medical field. Did we ever think it would happen to us? No. But my 11-year-old son was kidnapped. He was brutally raped. He was left for dead. And that is when my nightmare began. And that's why I do Predator Patrol Radio. And that's why I educate. That's why I go out and try to help other people, because I'm trying to turn something horrible into something good.
Making people aware of what I mean, because it's just more and more and more and more. We watch the news. Craven and I said he loves the news, hours of the news, and we just sit there and just look at each other because it's so much. It's all you hear about every single day.
I know it is. It's always on the news. Do you see it on the news all the time too, Brian?
Almost every night.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. What about when you log on the computer? Do you see these kind of stories?
Absolutely, but you know that you can block out things on a computer to protect your children. But I've had something rolling around in the back of my head for a long time, and I know there's a lot of people out there, and I'm pretty sure that you'll agree that all of us have to file a federal income tax return every year.
Yes, we do.
And if there was a block on there that said, I would like to donate X amount of dollars to make a class for children to identify and how to avoid a predator, I'm going to X that block, no matter what they want to take out of my return. And I
Exactly.
don't know how to start a national campaign, but I think this is a good way to get it out. And if anybody out there has an idea how to
I do.
promote that and how to submit that to Congress, that block should be placed on an income tax return and federally funded in our schools at a certain age.
Well, you know what? On income tax, it says, do you want to donate $1 to something? Right? Isn't there that little check mark that if you want to donate $1
I
or
do
whatever? I don't
$20.
even know what that is for. I forgot. But I agree. But you know what? The thing is, though, Brian, there is a lot of education out there. But it takes our parents, our children's parents, to put their kids in these safety programs. Just like you were talking about self-defense. On every corner, there's a self-defense
Absolutely.
school. And there's parents out there who are not putting their children in there. So there just needs to be a way that we can convince parents that they need to be vigilant about this, because your child could be one of these children that we see on the news. Don't think that you know every single thing about your child. Don't think that you know every person your child talks to. You know what? If you do, then that's fabulous. But you know what? It's the good parents that also fall under these horrible situations. It's not just the poor kids. It's middle class. It's upper class. You know, even in Hollywood, a lot of those young actors end up getting molested when they're going through their acting. You know, Macaulay Culkin, all of these kids who said they were molested. So it could happen to any of our children.
And when I grew up, it was always whispered, don't sit on Uncle Joe's lap.
Ah, really? That's, yeah. So Uncle Joe was not a nice guy, was he?
But that's all it was said then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I was molested from 5 to 13 by my all-star, well, you know what? I was molested from a very young age on up, and we're not going to go there because I'm not in the mood to hit that funny bone tonight. So, but back to Facebook. There's also another situation, and you know what? If you Google sex offender on Facebook, you will come up with tons and tons of stories. And this is another one, Teresa. You read this one here. This one here is about a convicted sex offender who lives in North Dakota. And he is a sex offender who had a felony of gross sexual imposition and 1 count of Class C felony failure to register as a sex offender and 1 count of corruption of a minor. Now, that terminology I don't quite understand because it's not like the Florida statutes that are read a little more easily. But this guy posted on his Facebook that he was engaged.
Yeah.
To how old? A 14-year-old? That he was engaged to this 14-year-old. Now, that is stupid. What man is going to put on his Facebook that I am engaged to a 14-year-old? The 14-year-old even said that she and this guy had been in a sexual relationship and that at one time she believed she was pregnant. I hope this mother or father takes a little bit of time and educates this little girl.
Yeah, there's something wrong there.
So, a witness.
Paying attention.
Yeah, I don't think parents are paying attention like they should. And you know what? There are parents that are, but there are some of you who are not. And you know what? You know who you are. So, there was a witness that even said, Teresa's laughing at me, said that they witnessed this guy taking this young girl into a hotel. So he even took the 14-year-old into a hotel. So these young teenagers are getting with these older guys and they're feeling like young ladies and they're not even developed. They still have a lot of growing, just like that post I read earlier. They're not even completely developed and they're not mature.
When you're that age, your parents are hard on you. They're hard on you, they're harder on you on your grades,
or they're ignoring you,
or they're ignoring you. But then these guys come along and get your nails done, and it's okay. Your dad's mean to you. You're beautiful. You're doing good, and all that. So that's what they, yeah. They know what they're doing.
Well, you know what, parents? We need to tighten up. And you know who you are. tighten up, because our children are very important. And when your child gets molested, there is such a huge part of them that will never be the same. They're damaged. And you know what? And you're going to wonder why they're such a horrible teenager, why they're not doing the right things, why they're on drugs, why they're running away, why they're stealing. You know what? A lot of those symptoms are because they were molested. They were violated. Something was taken from them that they will never, ever get back. Never.
And the saying, that will never happen to my children.
Right.
We all have to be vigilant.
Most definitely. And there's a lot of parents that feel that way. And I've heard them before say, oh, it'll never happen to my kid. I'm a good parent. Oh, well, you know what? Why don't you call me and let me come to your house when you're not home? Leave your child at home and tell them not to answer the door. And let me come to your house and see if I can get your child to answer the door.
That happened with us. She didn't know.
That's good.
Remember the family we adopted?
There was a
Yes.
television
Well, she did
program.
come to the door eventually.
She called her mom, though. On the
I know,
phone.
but what is she going to do with her mom on the phone?
Well, you were saying, I thought you said, I'm looking for the lady that used to live here. And all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Teresa's telling a good story, and this is what happened when we went out to adopt our families. We're adopting 10 families this year at the Radio Bar and Grill, and it's unfortunate families who just don't even have a pot to piss in.
I knew you were going to say that.
You knew I was going to say that?
Or a window to throw it out of.
Nor do they have a window to throw it out of.
Yes.
Why are you banging your head over there? Ain't got a pot to piss in.
I got an extra pot if they need it.
We're not talking about marijuana. We're talking about toilet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, this family, Teresa, I go to this house where this elderly woman who was taking care of all of her grandchildren because her 5 kids were in prison. So she was stuck with her 5 grandbabies. So we wanted to adopt this family, and when I go to the house, things just didn't look right. It was different. There was stones in the front yard that weren't there before, and just a couple other things. It just didn't look right. I said, but you know what? I'm going to get out and knock on the door anyway. Something told me to do this. This is like 9 o'clock at night in the hood,
Dark in the hood.
Yes. I mean, this is drug dealers, helicopters flying over, and actually I think it was the night that somebody had gotten shot over off of 15th Street.
We were packing.
Yeah, right. We were. Yeah. We were packing. Yes. Packing, yes.
Nobody can come around.
6-pack.
Teresa had a big old machine gun, and she was standing outside the car in her camouflage.
They were running and hiding in the closet.
She does have a license to carry
But you know what? But you know what? It is kind of funny, and Teresa is laughing for a good reason, because we go and knock on this door, and I'm thinking, Mom's going to answer the door or whatever, because we see lights on. Well, I'm knocking on the door, and one of the windows is wide open. Okay, it's dark outside. Pitch dark. One of the windows are open. The blinds are open. All of these kids are peeking out the window as if we can't see them. And then they go running into the closet, and they're hiding under clothes and trying to hide. But they didn't realize we could see them because they couldn't see out. Because it was dark outside. I guess they thought that we couldn't see in, but it was clear as day. Eventually, they answered the door, and there was 5 kids in this house. One who was a teenager, she had her mother on the phone when she answered the door. And that was one of the families that we're adopting. But you just never know. Some of these families do not teach their children not to answer the door. So unless your parents are home, do not answer the door for a serviceman, for the post office, or the mailman. Even if it's a police officer that knocks on your door, do not answer your door if your parents are not home. And I hate to say that, but you know what? There are people out there that wear uniforms that have been known to do bad things that really aren't police officers. There's a story up in North Carolina where a girl got off her school bus, and there was a guy dressed in a police polo, and he told her that her brother had been arrested for marijuana and that she needed to come with him. She followed him through the woods, and she was held captive for 10 days. Her name was Elizabeth Schoaf, and she did survive. She crawled out of the hole, and I met the girl. I went up to Lugoff, and I met the family. I took her some gifts, and it's an amazing story because when she was kidnapped and her parents put in a missing persons report, it was a prejudiced town. Elizabeth was Spanish. She was Mexican. And the police called off the Godiva dogs. They called off the search units, and they put on there that she was a runaway. So there was no search other than her parents and the friends that were looking for her. And thank God she escaped.
I just hope that that child is going to receive follow-up help because now she's damaged.
Oh, yeah. Well, she had to live in this bunker for 10 days and never saw daylight. He had a piece of plywood over the hole, and what he did is it was in a mine, in a big mine, and I snuck on the property. And I almost got arrested, but that's a crazy story what happened. But what happened was she ended up getting his cell phone because he fell asleep, and she sent a text message to her mother. The cops were looking for her and did not find her, but she was able to get out of the bunker because he left for a few minutes, I guess, to go get food. But guess what? What he did is so he would know somebody was coming towards them, he hung fish hooks with fishing line in all the trees. So if you were walking through the trees, which was a wooded area, you would get stuck with fishing hooks and you would yell and he would know you were coming.
The pre-planning and everything prior to, it's plotted, it's figured out. They know what they're doing, and they're not just going to walk up on a given day and say, oh, today's Tuesday, I'm going to be a predator. No.
Right.
They plot, they're hunters, they are predators. Just like a lion running down an African deer.
Absolutely. Yep, they're predators. That's why they're called predators. They prey, they watch, they groom, they sit around the corner. They don't just decide, I'm going to kidnap that child, and boom, they take it. They watch that child. They make sure that that child's walking home alone every day. They make sure that that parent's not going to be home whenever they come over to the house. They make sure that this child is going to be easy target. They watch your child at the baseball field to see if you're one of the parents that sits on the sidelines. If you're not, guess what? If there's a perverted coach out there, your child's going to be taken advantage of because you're not there.
I agree with you totally, but back again, if anyone out there has any inkling of what I said before, of getting this on an income tax return, know somebody or his family of a senator who will stand up at the podium, I guarantee you, hands will cross the aisle and we will educate our children and we'll all fund it.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources. We'll talk about it. We have a great program in Pinellas that is a part of our organization, and it's ran by the Pinellas Sheriff's Department. And it's an amazing program. It's just a matter of people getting involved and saying, I want to educate my child. You know, we can't throw it in their face. We can't go knocking on their doors. They have to come to you. So the thing is, having more funds to be able to resource these programs. You know?
If anyone out there feels the same way, call in, talk to Judy, and say, I support that idea, and what can I do to help?
Right. Send us an email.
Absolutely.
Contact us on Facebook, whatever you got to do.
And
well,
I thank you for having me on, Judy.
Oh, I love having you on. Are you having a good time?
Absolutely.
Good. I know
on.
you've been itching to come back here, haven't you?
Rock on.
Yeah. All right, honey. Thank you. All right, so we have a couple other stories I want to talk about, but you know what? I'm going to play a little bit of Steve Miller, and then I'm going to come back and talk about some other stories. Golf coach molesting boys, and Dean Kelly, who used to be in the Aerosmith video Crazy.
Well, I've been
I could hear my sweet baby say, keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, rocking, baby, baby, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby.
Okay, we are back. Again, you're listening to WPRN DB 102.1, Radio Bar and Grill. Come on down for a cold beer, even a soda pop. And join in with some of the fun. We have open jam on a couple nights a week. I know that we had it this afternoon, had some awesome musicians in. And we have a band here, usually on a Friday, Saturday night. You can go to our website and you can find out what's going on at the Radio Bar and Grill. We have awesome DJs here at the bar. And if you ever want to come down and hang out and possibly even be on the air, feel free to do so, especially on my show. I want to say that I am proud and happy to have anybody come on here that wants to talk. Every weekend we have somebody that comes and is a part of our show, and maybe I'll just kind of call it an open mic. We have 3 mics in here. It's me and Teresa. We have our mic, and then we have the open mic. So if anybody wants to come and join in, send me a message, and I'm sure we can work things out. So Radio Bar and Grill is on Bush Boulevard, close to 30th, right next to Busch Gardens, across the street from the Olive Garden, and I always forget the actual address. So right across the street from the Olive Garden. You know, I don't know if any of you guys heard the story about the golf, G-O-L-F, like golf balls. There was a coach who mentors young boys and has been working with doing all the training. I'm trying to find my story here. Here it is. Golf coach arrested on 65 counts of child molestation. This is in California. So you know what? All of our stories have been in different states. So it's not localized to just one state. You know, a lot of people say that Florida's the dumping ground for the child molesters. Well, there's some truth to that. But, you know, this guy was a golf coach, and he was very popular. He was charged with 65 counts of child sexual abuse. And you know what really drives me crazy is all of these parents paid their children to go take golf lessons, and this is something that is so fun. I love golfing. You know, I could remember when I went to New Mexico, and I have a friend who took me golfing. He said, "Have you ever been golfing before?" "No, I never have." So we went, and I played softball. So I had that softball swing. You know, it was really hard to break it. It was hard for me to keep my arms straight. And I did such a great job. Everybody was telling me, great job, great job. I think I only got in trouble once because my ball went into a sand pit, and I walked into the sand pit and took my ball out, and I didn't rake the sand. Nobody told me I had to. But for years, I would tell people how good I did in a story if it came up, and I would always say, "Oh my God, when I played golf, my score was 86," and everybody's like, "Wow, that's good, that's cool, that's better than my handicap." Well, about 6 or 7 years later, somebody says, "Was that on 9 holes or was that on a full course?" So I had to call my friend, and you know, because I didn't know. So apparently it was a 9 course, right? 9 hole, 80 something. That's great. That's a really good score. But it wasn't. It was 18 holes. So I sucked. But anyways, the golf was really fun. And they did have like a golf camp at this golf course that we were at. And there were a whole bunch of children at the putting range. And they were all learning how to hold the putter and all the different types of golf clubs that they have. And, you know, it takes me back to that day that I saw those people teaching them. And the parents, there really wasn't that many parents there. But this guy, he molested boys from the age of 12 to 17 years old. 65 counts. That's a lot, you know. 175 kids were enrolled in this program. And if there are 65 kids that he molested or 65 charges, that's just horrible. I feel really bad for the parents, and I feel bad for the little boys. And, you know, you just never know. These things happen everywhere. So keep an eye out for your kids. Stay with your kids. If they're going to piano lessons, if they're going to golf, if they're going to baseball, if they're going to football, take your lawn chair, take your iPad, sit there and watch your kids. You don't need to go shopping when your kids are at the field. Just sit there with them, hang out with them. Don't let your child be a target, you know? So anyways, I'm going to play a little bit of Journey and come back with a couple other stories we have because we're down to the last 10 minutes and I still have 2 more stories to share. That's horrible, and they do too.
Just a small town girl.
They probably didn't think anything of it, did they?
In a lonely world.
Whoops.
He took the midnight train going anywhere.
Glad we weren't talking bad stuff in the booth.
Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill, paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some are born to sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight people. Don't stop believing. Hold on. Streetlight people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight.
Oh, you're listening to WPRN-DB 102.1, Radio Bar and Grill. We've got open pool tonight. You don't even have to put a quarter in the machine. Just come on down and hit the balls and play some pool. We also have cold beer here at the Radio Bar and Grill. We also have soda, and we have good food. And we have a lot of people sitting at the bar having a good time. I can hear you guys laughing all the way in here. Now I hear you yelling. Yay! You guys having a good time out there at the Radio Bar and Grill? Well, you know what? We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, and then we're going to play some more music and rock and roll, tear this place up. But I want to talk about a Michigan teacher. This story has really, really weighed heavy on me. This just goes to show how sex offenders can be so manipulative. And you know what? Child molesters is what I'm talking about. The child molesters who are out there hurting our children. There is a teacher, Neil Erickson. I don't know how I can show you all the picture. Where's the camera? See if the camera comes around. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it very well. There you go. This guy is a teacher. And I hate to even give him that name, but in Michigan, what happened was this guy was molesting a 14-year-old boy. He had a sexual relationship with him. It wasn't just once. He had a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old boy. Well, the guy gets busted, and you know what? He's such a disgrace. It's just such a disgrace. He had been a math and a computer educator teacher at Rose City Middle School, and the sexual relationship with this child happened multiple times, and it happened also with an 8th grader. Well, this guy, believe it or not, got bonded out, and he is a part of the union. The union is standing up for him and is fighting for him to keep his job. The union. That just doesn't seem right. The union is supposed to be somebody who fights for what's right, that fights for your opportunity to keep your job and to protect you from discrimination and to make sure that you get pay raises, to make sure that the Equal Opportunity Employment Acts are taken care of and followed, and you are not being treated inappropriately by your employer. But this whole case is just ridiculous. How can a union stand back behind this guy and support him? It's beyond me. Just beyond me. So again, you know, you guys always hear me talking about, you know, sex offenders being arrested again. Sex offenders arrested again. Sex offenders arrested again. Why were they ever out to begin with? Whenever these guys violate a child, they should not be let out. So this guy right here, his name's Thomas. He was arrested twice in 2 weeks. Now that caught my eye. If he was arrested twice in 2 weeks, that means he was arrested for a crime and he got out within 2 weeks and got rearrested. So according to Camden's County Sheriff's Office, this guy, 59 years old, was arrested October 25th on 1 count of molestation. He made bond on October 27th. Really? Should he have gotten a bond? Hell no. You know, at least hold these guys until they go to court and you can present some facts on these cases. I don't believe there should be a bond until you go before the judge. And that's not just child molestation charges. I think there's certain other types of crimes that you should be held until you go to court. Because once you are bonded out, you can haul ass and go wherever you want. You don't have to come back. But anyways, he went out, and guess what? He went out and violated and had 5 additional charges of child molestation on him. Had they have locked him up and not let him out, this wouldn't have happened. So my story is, once you lock these child molesters up, don't let them out unless they can prove that they did not do the crime and they do not deserve the time. But other than that, lock them up and don't let them out so they can repeat their offenses again. Our children don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. So you know what? It's almost 9 o'clock, and I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank everybody who's been in chat. We've had a great chat. Thanks, Tom in Nebraska. Thank you, Brent, for giving us some more resources out there as far as Plenty of Fish, FUBAR, Zook. Those are the places you need to also look out for your children. If they have accounts and you don't know about it, find out and keep an eye. If they have accounts, shut them down if it's part of a dating service or an adult site. They do not need to be on there. Facebook, hey, that's cool, but you know what? You guys need those passwords and you need to watch your kids. Keep an eye on them. Don't let anything happen. Be safe. And Tampa Police, all the police officers out there, thanks for doing your job. You guys are awesome and we love you. We're going to play some Bon Jovi and close out for the night. Love you guys. Here it comes. What's going on? Where's my Bon Jovi? Wanted, Dead or Alive. Here it comes. I don't think that sounds right. That's something crazy. You know what? How about a little bit of crazy? By Aerosmith. Are we going to do open jam? Is that what everybody's doing? No? Yeah? No? I see instruments.
Come here, baby. You know you drive me up a wall, the way you make good for all the nasty tricks you pull. Seems like we're making up more than we're making love. And it always seems you got something on your mind other than me. Girl, you got to change your crazy ways. You hear me? Say you're leaving on a 7:30 train and that you're heading out to Hollywood. Girl, you've been giving me the line so many times it kinda gets like feeling bad looks good. Yeah. That kind of loving turns a man to slave. That kind of loving sends a man right to his grave. I go crazy, crazy, baby. I go crazy. You turn it on, then you go. Yeah, you drive me crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, you baby. What can I do, honey? I feel like the color blue. You're packing up your stuff and talking like it's tough and trying to tell me that it's time to go. Yeah, but I know you ain't wearing nothing underneath that overcoat, and it's all show. Yeah, that kind of loving makes me wanna pull Well, the truth, well, it hurts to say. I'm gonna pack up my bags and I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna split, I can't stand it. I'm gonna give it up and quit, ain't never coming back. Oh, but before I get to going, I got to say, I know you used to love me, but that was yesterday. And the truth, I won't fight it. When the love starts burning, you got to do what's right. Whoa, lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. Whoa, lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. Well, the truth, yeah, it hurts to say. I'm gonna pack up my bags and I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna split, I can't stand it. I'm gonna give it up and quit, ain't never coming back. Oh, but before I get to going, I got to say, there was a time, oh woman, when you used to shake it for me. But now, all you do is just treat me cold. Ain't gonna take it no more, gonna walk out the door. Lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. No good no more, 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 more. Lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I wait up for you almost every night. You don't treat me, and I'm hurting no so bad, cause you don't treat me right. Oh, woman, you know I love you so, man, just so mean to me, baby. I'm walking out the door. Lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. No good no more, more, more. I know you used to love me in every way, but now I'm giving it up, and I'm tired of crying, babe. I can't stand it no longer. It hurts me to say, but I'm packing up my bags and going far away. Lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. Lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. Treat me good no more. Lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. Treat me good no more. Lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more. Treat me good no more. Lover, 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 you don't treat me no good no more.
Got out of town on a boat going to Southern Islands, sailing to reach before a following sea. She was making for the trades on the outside and the downhill run to Papa Ede. Off the wind on this heading line, the Marquesas. You got 80 feet of a water line, nicely making way in a noisy bar in Avalon. I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I had fallen. Spirits are using me, larger voices calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world. you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why you came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are dying, and my love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain. I have my ship and all her flags are flying. She is all that I have left, and music is her name. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, but your voice is calling. Whatever brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I've been around the world. I have been around the world, looking for that woman, girl, who knows love can endure, and you know it will, and you know it will. So we cheated and we lied and we tested, and we never failed to fail. It was the easiest thing to do. You will survive being bested. Somebody fine will come along, make me forget about loving you. In the Southern Cross